I do want to hit you on the fact that, Carlos Santana's got to grab a glove and play a position that he's out of position in just in order to get him into a lineup that the Indians had every right to put him in at the position that he normally plays, a designated hitter throughout the year. Is there any appetite on making a uniform rule between the leagues here, Commissioner?
I really don't sense a lot of appetite among the clubs for it. There's a couple of issues. I think, number one, our leagues are very important to us from a competitive perspective. Obviously, we play up through the leagues to get to the World Series. And, the principal differentiator between those two leagues now is the DH, no DH thing. Look at all the conversation that has been generated just in the last 48 hours about, what's going to happen with the lineups, how's the American League team going to adjust to the National League style of play. And, I actually think those are positives for us over the long haul.
Well, I mean, you are a commissioner in a 21st century world in a sport that you are, just like every commissioner of any major sport, is trying to bring into the 21st century from rules that might be outdated, outmoded. I mean, the leagues are playing each other every single week, every single day now, essentially. Interleague play has totally blurred the lines in between leagues. So why not just go ahead and make something uniform so you don't have these issues in a crucial World Series contest?
Well, I think the single best answer to that, and I don't mean to be flip about it, is that I got 15 clubs in each league that are pretty committed to their brand of baseball. The American League clubs like playing with the DH. The National League clubs see a big difference in the National League brand of baseball and really like it.
And so I got the commissioner, Rob Manfred of Major League Baseball, joining me here. The Cubs don't have home field advantage despite winning more games in the regular season than Cleveland. Is there any appetite for revisiting the issue of making home field advantage on the line in what is largely an exhibition game, obviously, in the All-Star contest?
Well, let me say this. This time it counts was originally negotiated with the Players Association when we went to it. As you know, we're in the middle of collective bargaining. I don't want to comment on appetite or likelihood. The only thing that I am prepared to say, it's a topic that both sides have shown some interest in talking about.
Okay, that's good to hear, because I'd agree with changing it, quite frankly, to just throw my 2 cents in if that matters. And what do you think about the length of these games, Commissioner? I know that's been something that you have been tilting a windmill at since you started taking over at your spot.
Well, I appreciate your support.
Yes, you bet. I'm all for it.
Look, we obviously the first couple of years have worked hard on the issue of pace of game. We're going to continue to focus on it. The games have been longer than I'd like to see them in the playoffs. I do, however, understand, the playoffs a little different. It's a tough time of year to focus on pace and length of game just because there's so much on the line. Players tend to take a little more time. But overall, Rich, I agree with you. This is an issue that we have not made enough progress on.
Commissioner Rob Manfred joining me here on Game 3 day of a dream come true experience for so many Cubs fans. They're going to actually see a World Series game in Wrigley Field, Indians and Cubs, here on the Rich Eisen Show with the Commissioner of Baseball, Rob Manfred. You said to my colleagues at an ESPN radio about Chief Wahoo and the logo that you would chat with the owner of the Indians, Larry Dolan, about the logo, saying how you understand how they can be offensive to some people. On the other side of the coin, you have a lot of fans that have have history and have invested in the symbols of the Indians. In what manner will you bring it up with Larry Dolan?
Well, it'll probably be Paul, who day-to-day runs the club, Larry's son. But, we'll have a private conversation about this topic outside the glare of the World Series. I mean, I think that it's an issue that needs to be discussed, but frankly, the middle of the World Series is not a point in time at which anything on that particular topic is going to get resolved.
But some point over the hot stove months, you will sit down and have a conversation on the subject with
That's
the
what
Indians.
I've said, yep.
Okay.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.